What's up? We are back. It is episode 229 of the Metal Roundtable. I am Metal Rob, and with me, as always, since day one,
Carcass John.
yes, indeed. But also, this guy right here in the stretchy Saxon shirt.
Stretchy Saxon shirt. Keeps riding up on me. Scott Waters.
We are a tired bunch today.
Absolutely. I was sick as a dog all week last week, so kind of wore me out.
You act like you've been out throwing axes or something.
Yeah, I'm sleepy, man. I had a bedtime of 1:30 a.m. a couple of nights ago and woke up at 6. So I still haven't recovered from that.
Well, I'm surprised you guys aren't still glowing from our wonderful guest last week, Brian Slagle. That was awesome.
That was awesome.
It was awesome. As I was doing my daily reports, I just had one of those. You've had one of those days where it drags on and on and on, and despite your best efforts to get it over with, it just never ends.
Yeah.
So, yeah, mine ended about 5:20, and so anyway. But you had plenty of questions and plenty to talk about. So maybe I'll catch him on the next round.
Yeah, it was good. It was really cool of him to come on. You know, I know he's a very busy dude, but man, that was awesome. He was very responsive, very professional, super, super nice guy. So yeah, that was awesome. I kind of wish I had done the show a little differently, because I think we had a lot more questions that we could have asked and things we could have talked about. I think I dragged out the the list a little long, but it was good.
Well, we'll just get him back on again.
Yeah.
That's we discussed that on the phone the other day. It was like, man, I'd like to get him on, just talk just metal in general and not have to focus on certain albums, you know. That'd be kind of cool.
Sorry,
because
Ryan,
I mean,
you had a second comment, but I still love you. And your album kicks ass.
Yeah, man. The announcement for Ryan's new album went out today. Ryan Roebuck, who is with us as a guest here, he's from the band Motivic, and it's a thrasher, and it's really, really good.
We need more of that.
Good. Yeah, it is very good. If you liked Death of the Gunman, you will like this album. It's just 2.0. I mean, enough different. You know, it's a different album, obviously, but I am so in love with Death of the Gunman, and this one did not disappoint. It's fighting good, man. It's really, really good.
Oh, look at that. Nils, all the way from Norway.
What's up, Nils? How are you?
Bienvenidos.
Hey, Damien Hair Metal, where are you from? I see you here all the time, but I don't know where you're from. Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, I can't remember either. He's told us before.
I know, but I can't remember either.
Yeah. All right. So let's just jump into it. We can dispense with shout outs and all that, because I think we're all going to talk about some of the stuff that would be our shout outs. So
what
today,
about,
wait. We have our feature though. Don't forget the feature.
Okay, I will. I will do that.
Cool.
So on episode 229 today, before we get to Carcass's pick of the week in just a second, we're going to talk about recent shows that we've been to, and we're going to talk about some recent things that we've picked up. We're just going to kind of sweep up some pieces from things we've been doing. So without further ado, because I was going to forget, thank you, Scooter Waters, for setting me straight. Carcass, it's time for the pick of the week.
Well, you just tried to push me aside because you thought I was going to talk about Osric Tentacles again, but that's not true. Not at all. So you know how we do it here? We do a rock pick and a metal pick, and so I'm going to get right to it because we do have a lot to talk about. My rock pick of the week is The Who. Who's Next?
Very nice.
Classic.
I can think of, in fact, I think I turned one into you there, Mr. Hair Metal Rob, and it's a Japanese audiophile pressing, and you should listen to it. It really sounds good. Anyway, my claim is that you could have this album and you wouldn't need to buy another Who record because it's that good. But it's probably in one of my top 5 picks of all time. And it's got melody, it's got intrigue, and it's just got heavy. It almost is it's like a melodic, it's like a Queensryche record on steroids. So it has a little bit of a concept to it, and I really love this thing. So I think all our collectors out there, whether they're hair metal connoisseurs or death metal connoisseurs, doesn't matter. I think the Who.
I agree that it's one of their best albums, and I don't have a lot of Who, but I definitely have that one. And Who Are You is another good one.
Yep, that's another good one.
And my 2-year-old granddaughter's favorite song right now is Boris the Spider by the Who.
Okay, well there you go. That was one of their earlier ones.
Creepy crawly.
But the that particular record is kind of a start to finisher. You listen, you put it on side one, and it goes all the way through to side two, and without a fail, there's not a bad song, no filler, all killer. That's why I love that record. All right, and who did I talk to? Somebody, a young person, and they were playing this Death Row, Riders of Doom. It's also known as, I think in Europe it was called Satan's Gift, but in America it was known as Riders of Doom. But man, talk about the bridge between power metal and thrash. This is probably the preeminent album. And if you don't have it,
right there.
Yep. If you don't have it, you got to get it, because this thing is a ripper. They did some other things. In fact, I have a couple of their albums that were recorded in Puerto Rico, of all places. But and they got kind of away from the power metal aspect of it. But this thing right here is once again, like the Who record, is start to finish, absolutely blistering power thrash. So Death Row, whether you want to call it Satan's Gift or Riders of Doom, and the Who's Next, can't go wrong with either one of those. And thank you. That's your picks of the week.
I like it.
On.
Well, let's do some. Let's just kind of go around the horn. Scott, what do you want to? We've been to shows and all kinds of stuff, so I'll let Scott go, and then we'll just kind of round table it here.
Before I forget, I wanted to let everybody know. I mean, I'm always touting this band, Accuser, German thrash metal band. They've got a bunch of albums out. These are all the recent reissues. This thing is brutally awesome. Same here. You can all these right now if over at boonsoverstock.com. They have those albums for $10 or under. You can get the yes, you can get that. They're on sale. You can get this one for $7, and the rest of them I think are around $9 each. Only while they last. So I thought I'd let everybody know if anybody's interested. We'll put the link in the description, but it's boonsoverstock.com. And I love Accuser, so they're one of my favorite German bands.
Comments.
That's all right.
Wow.
This is just something I was going to let everybody know. But there's a ton of stuff on sale over there, actually. I also picked up Haven 3 for like $7, I think. So that was another cool pickup from over there. Yeah, they're having a big sale over there. So check it out when you get a chance.
Well, I love it when these record sites they understand the fact that they're not museums. And they got to move, it doesn't look pretty on the shelf. They need to move it. So if that's what they got to do, that's very cool. I'll be jumping over there after the show.
I found out something interesting that I didn't know about before when it comes to licensing from bigger labels. And I don't know if anybody cares. It's kind of a techie thing, but when you have a 3-year license or a 5-year license, and we lost somebody. If you have a 3-year license, let's say you have a 3-year license with Capitol Music for some release that you bought from them. Once that 3-year license is up, you can't even sell the product anymore.
Really?
I mean, the product that's already out in the market is already out in the market. Nothing they can do about that. But you, as a record company, can no longer sell it at all.
So you have to pull it from your site or your
catalog
or whatever?
Pull it from your site, and you can no longer sell it wholesale either.
Interesting. Even if you have some left over and
it depends on the label. It depends on the label and the contract. But yeah, I just found that out recently. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
So what would they do? Well, we know what a certain band with black and yellow stripes would do, but so what would the label do? Would they just basically send you a cease and desist and shut you down if you're still selling
I would imagine so. I haven't seen that happen, but that's why some of these labels you see will have sales at the end of to get rid of the remaining product because they have to get rid of them before the end of their contract.
Term.
Yeah,
cool.
So
interesting.
Something I didn't know about until just recently. So
well,
I never knew that either.
Business. It is the music business.
Yeah. So I'm learning that the cable for my camera, I just touched it. That's why I went away.
Oh.
I was laughing at Mike Griffin, who was sending me comments that I will now read on the air. I see your head on TV, doo-doo head, heart, metal horns. Yes. So then I moved and touched the cable and it went away. So Mike, I blame you. Thank you.
There you go.
The little kid said my favorite German thrash metal band. I'm assuming he's talking about Death Row.
Death Row. Yep.
Cool.
Gotta love it. And Damien Hair Metal from England says love some Death Row. So I'm telling you, if you don't have it in your collection, you need it. That thing is a ripper, and it's a start to finish record. And I know there's a lot of albums that we say, oh, the second side was better than the first, or there's a couple of good songs on it. And as Rob absolutely knows this, especially after this last weekend, I just don't have the space anymore. So I don't have the space enough for albums that have one or two good songs. They all got to be quality rippers. And if I've got the music, then I'm off. I mean, I can take it or leave it. In fact, he and I were talking about this before earlier in the afternoon about the status of having a lot of records. I know that's cool, and I really like having a lot of records because you never know when you need, you're just feeling the mood, and then you can just look right over and grab it off the shelf. That's always fun. But the internet's so huge that's what YouTube's for, Spotify, Pandora, whatever. I mean, I'm shocked at how much music is actually available out and about where you don't have to buy a physical copy. And everyone should know that we love physical copies. Don't get me wrong. But when you
There's also a lot of stuff not on there, though.
Yeah, but when you don't have the space, and those are the records I keep, and those are the CDs that I keep, or the tapes, or what have you. But honestly, that's what I've been doing. I've been on a pretty austere budget, and so I'll buy the tape because it's usually $10, and then I get a download card with that. So not only do I get the tape, and I can represent with a physical copy that doesn't take up a lot of room, but I actually get to hear the music too. So I'm cool with that.
I still like the internet for discovering new stuff.
Absolutely.
And checking out new stuff either before I get it or when it's on the way. Even Amazon, if you buy a CD on Amazon, a lot of them have that auto rip feature and you've got the digital copy immediately, which I think is cool.
I know our good friend Poser Mark down in Houston always says, well, I asked this guy about it and he said it ripped. And I'm like, I would never listen to anybody give me their opinion about something because it's so diverse. I mean, it's the old adage where the two people are standing there looking at the painting and one person hates it and the other one loves it. I mean, I think music is not much different than that. So
got to check it out.
Yeah, you got to check it out.
Do you guys care if I throw up the first thing?
Throw it up, man.
Go for it.
All right, we're going to go through. Man, there's concert talk as well. Well, let me do that first. Let me talk about a show real quick, and then I'm going to throw up some new arrivals real fast. I want to shout out Nigel from Saxon for very kindly having myself out to the Saxon Uriah Heep show. I had never seen Uriah Heep. That was awesome. That was my third or fourth time to see Saxon. And, man, it was at Glass Cactus over in Grapevine, and it's a great venue. And Nigel was cool to hang out. I got to meet Brian Tatler, which was a huge thing for me. That was a couple of bucket list things this week. I got to meet Brian, thanks to Nigel. And I also got to broadcast on Dallas FM radio for the first time ever. Lee Russell invited me up to fill in for Spicoli on KNON on Sunday night. And so I got to do Reckless Rock Radio. And unbeknownst to me, he asked me to do it. And then while I'm prepping that afternoon, nice. While I'm prepping that afternoon,
Brian Tatler
and tells me that Frank Hannon from Tesla is going to be on the show. So Frank and his guitar tech Chris came up, and it was an awesome hang, and they were good dudes. Great interview. Lee knocked it out of the park, and then my dumbass was over there in the co-pilot seat. But man, it was fun. So I'll show a couple things. Oh, and Saxon kicked ass. Brian Tatler's a killer fit for the band. He's a monster on guitar. And if you don't have the new album, Hellfire and Damnation, you need to get it because it is so good. It might be my favorite Saxon album.
Wow. Well, hey, just before you get too far away from Saxon, didn't you get a little gift from Nigel? Didn't he hook you up with something? The candle?
Oh, that was from before, but yeah.
Okay.
So,
because you wouldn't even
went
show
out
it
for
to
some
me.
beers a few
You didn't
months
even
ago,
show it to me.
And he shows up, and out from under the table, he pulls something. And he says, "Hey, man, I've got a gift for you," and it's a pink rainbow unicorn candle that says Metal AF on it. It's brilliant. I absolutely love it. And so this time I went to the show and I took something for him, and you can see the pictures on Facebook, on my Facebook page. But I walked up to him and I said, "Hey man, you gave me a gift last time that I saw you. That was really cool. And I brought you something this time. It's a tribute to something that I use every day. It means a lot to me, and I just want you to have it." And it was a key ring of a metal toilet. So I have a picture of me and Nigel, and with him holding the metal toilet key ring. So he got a kick out of that, and I thought it was funny. So, I mean, he sits on the throne, he's the drummer.
Right.
So, and Vic Stone, friend of the show, sent me all of these, gave me a screaming deal on all the Stutz CDs. So stoked to get these really cool classic metal, high vocals. I love when I say cheese factor on these, man, I don't want to undersell it, but if you like that just stereotypical traditional early metal, this is for you, and I love that shit. So shout out to Vic Stone and the legacy of your father. This stuff is badass, and I love it. I still haven't opened the Champions one yet.
Piggybacking off of your Vic Stone, I grabbed the Volcana vinyl this week too. So been holding off on it. Finally grabbed a copy.
Let's keep the full circle of the Vic Stone legacy going, because he and I are working a deal for the brand new Rotting Corpse demos vinyl, and of course he wants the Banana Splatter vinyl, and he said that so I'm going to get a Blood for Blood or There Will Be Blood, and then he's sending me one of those, and I told him to surprise me on the color. I don't know how many colors they came in, but yep, there it is. Hoop, there it is. That's freaking awesome.
I got to see Murph at the shop. He came into my store on Saturday, and we talked for half an hour, and he brought me some of these to put in the store. So there's a couple in the shop, and then a couple here that I'm going to wait until those move. So thanks to Metal Murph for providing me.
It turned out really nice.
It looks great. It sounds great.
Yep.
And pick one up at Metal Rob's Records in Plano, Texas.
Absolutely. Rick McGee of Turkey Baster Records is owed a big, huge shout out and thank you, because, man, he took a chance, and Steve Murphy took it to the finish line. But, man, it was a great project to work on. There's a lot of cool stuff in that. And as is the case with a lot of my artwork, there's a lot of Easter eggs, even in the gatefold. So, anyway... But yes, Vic Stone. Go ahead, Scott.
Oh, okay. I was just piggybacking off of his thing.
Yeah, Vic Stone and the Volcana. I can't wait to hear it, because he's going to send me one of those, and I'm going to package that up and send it your way, Vic. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten about you.
Right on.
Scott, what have you got? You've been to some shows and stuff recently and picked up some things.
Yeah, I can't remember if I talked about any of the shows before. I did. I went out to California to see, and tell me if I already talked about this, John. I can't remember or not. But I went out to see Primal and Primal and Ruthless.
Oh yeah, you did mention that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then anyhow,
Because I went ahead and friended them on Facebook, the Ruthless band. I wasn't familiar with them until you had mentioned it, so I got on there, and so thanks for the tip on that. But yeah, they rip. I like those guys.
they've been around pretty much since the '80s. So yeah. Anyhow, Primal's kicking butt right now. They just got done a huge tour out of South America. They played a couple shows in the U.S. and then they're heading back out again to South America in a few months, in December, I believe. So best wishes to them, man. They're a great band. Glenn Rogers, of course, who is also a friend of the show, been on here a few times. He's also one of those people that watches us. But yeah, that was fun. That was a lot of fun. They sold out of their tour shirts before the show I got to see, which was a bummer. But thankfully, Glenn surprised me. He goes, "Yeah, I pulled back one for you, man." So he pulled one back for me and Bill. Tour shirts, so it's got the tour dates on the back and everything. So that was really cool. And then I bought a Ruthless shirt just to support the guys, which was their album release party. So,
did he touch the wire again?
Stop playing with your cord while we're online.
Stop fondling your wire.
Yeah, man.
I'm here.
But I picked up some new stuff. I got a bunch of new stuff in it. I don't have to talk about that all, but this is one that I've been listening to a lot lately. This is the new Hall of Flame.
Mm-hmm.
This, of course, is what's his name? Kurt Vanderhoof's band.
Oh, okay.
From Metal Church. This is the second album. The first album came back in the 90s, I think, and then this one just came out. This is 100% Metal Rob music. I mean, it's gnarly, sleazy, hard rock, heavy metal, big hooks. You're gonna walk away singing some of the songs. Even the lyrics are kind of cool. There's a song in here called 1974, and it's just a song about how back in the living back in the 70s as a kid, man, we went out and played outside and ran around and rode our bikes across the freaking world and all those kind of things. And kids now are glued to a phone or a computer or a TV. So anyhow, it's just talking about the nostalgic feeling of growing up in the 70s and the 80s before the internet.
Let's see. I'm changing Rob's name from Hair Metal Rob to Rob Gnarly Sleazy Colwell. Hang on.
Yeah, I like it.
I need that album.
Yes, you do. The other one I picked up, which I don't have in front of me, is 99. Doggone it! How come whenever you get on camera you get stupid? Anyhow, I'll talk about that one later when I remember the name. But there's another album
or off camera.
You're more consistent than we are, I guess.
Yes.
I'm looking it up now, but go ahead. Somebody else can talk, and I'll come back.
24/7.
Hey, I was going to tell you that Mark Massacre just joined us from Melbourne, Australia, and he has sent me some. And Mark, I haven't ignored you. I've just been swamped, and I can tell you about the past weekend because it was insane. But anyway, he sent me some tracks. He sent me some new music. He's in a couple new projects, and man, that dude can write music and shred music like you have no idea. So, like Rob likes the sleazy and gnarly, I love the heavy thrashing brutality of that the whole death metal thing. And Mark Massacre is no stranger to heavy music, including Twisted Fate and some other things. But I don't know what they're drinking in the water down there in Melbourne, but you think about Nocturnal Graves, Twisted Fate, Cemetery Urn. I think King Parrots from down there. I mean, it's brutal. Brutal. Anyway, say that 3 times really fast. Brutal. Never mind.
No,
I can't say it one time fast, especially right now. But
anyway, appreciate him joining us. Because what is it, like 8:00 in the morning?
Yeah, it's mid-morning over there.
Mid-morning down there, because our guys from Stone Trip are always a little bleary-eyed when they join us.
Oh, got something cooking with those boys, too.
Uh-oh.
Yes, we do. More on that later.
Later?
99 Crimes. That's the other band I was looking for, that I was trying to think of. Jeez. It's very, very similar to Dangerous Toys, Dirty Looks, Broken Teeth, and it actually has members of those bands in it. So the name of the band and the album is 99 Crimes.
Okay.
And It's a full-length CD, and you could pick up copies on eBay right now. I'm not even joking, for $7 on CD. So there you go.
Speaking of dangerous toys, by the way, Jason McMaster, who you talked to, I think, Rob, at the what was that? The
Armored Saint
Dangerous Toy Show. Yeah. Anyway, hit one of his other side projects of the million that he's playing in. Oh my gosh, Igniter is playing with Rotting Corpse on July 4th down in Austin. So that's going to be a real barn burner. And you talk about somebody that's diverse. I mean, he's in Jason's in Dangerous Toys. He's in a sludge band called Activator. I don't know if they're still active, but he was playing bass and doing some backup vocals for them. Of course, Dangerous Toys. Watchtower, I know, is on fire these days and have been playing a lot of shows. And I don't know what their plans are, but I think that they're going to continue with that lineup. And then he's got a killer Judas Priest tribute band. They play nothing but the first 4 or 5 records, called Sad Wings. So if anybody's out there can check them out, please do, because they are phenomenal. That dude's. Oh, and then of course Evil United, which is one of my favorite thrash projects. And he's in that too. He does everything. He does gnarly sleazy. He does thrash. He does Judas Priest. He does true heavy metal. I mean, the guy's a wizard. So look forward to that show down in Austin. It's going to be. I know it's awkward to have a national holiday on a Thursday or a middle of the week, but we're going to make it happen anyway.
Scott?
Yo. Yeah, I got more stuff I could show. I was actually fooling around online looking for that 99 Crimes, and I found it. Yeah, it is $6.99 plus shipping on eBay, coming directly from the either the band or the record company. Most likely the band. I have a family in the band and the record company are one and the same. But Paul Lydell is the guitar player. That's what I was trying to remember.
Nice.
Who played in Dirty Looks and in I don't know if he was in Broken Teeth or not, but he was definitely in Dangerous Toys for a while.
I forgot about Broken Teeth. There's another Jason McMaster band. Good grief.
Let's see. New stuff. I also share some stuff I've been playing. This thing's a beast. This album is phenomenal. 3 LPs. I picked it up on Amazon for it was under $30. It was like $28 or $27.99 or something like that, with free Prime shipping. I mean, it looks like there's hardly anything on it. There's 2 songs on side A, 1 song on side B, 1 song on side C, 1 song on side D, 2 songs on side E, and 2 songs on side F. But those songs are the whole thing is nothing but a jam.
Well, Space Truckin' is what, 20 minutes long?
They don't even have that's not even on here. This is before all that.
Oh, well, because I've got some Stockholm, Purple Live in Stockholm, and it's 1970.
Yeah. So you've got Speed King, Into the Fire.
I got some from 72 and one from 75.
Yeah, I've got a couple of those too. I was just surprised at how much I enjoyed this one. And I might have got this one cheap because it's got a little, I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a little bit of a bend right there.
Does that have Mandrake Root and all those?
Yep. So it's got Speed King, Into the Fire, Child in Time, Ring the Neck, Mandrake Root, Black Knight, Paint It Black, and then it's got a revisited version of Mandate Root.
Yeah, Painted Black. Well, Painted Black is, of course, the Rolling Stones
cover, which is barely a Rolling Stones cover on here. It's ain't nothing but a jam. So
that's cool. But, I'll have to check out the 70s. I like I said, I have one from 72 and 2 from 75, and they're both radio broadcasts.
I mean, the Deep Purple albums that are coming out right now are insane. There's just so many of them. Here's another one that I picked up not too long ago. Infinity Live in Concert, which is a more modern recording with what's his name on guitar? Why am I forgetting his name? Steve Morse, thank you. And then I also they have a bunch of these that are out right now from all different years. These
kind of like the Kiss thing, this Kiss soundboard recordings.
Yeah, they're good.
That's exactly what this is too. Yep, Hammersmith Apollo. This is 2002.
Oh man.
So yeah, I've been in this weird listening space of listening mostly to Deep Purple, and then this is going to be an odd one because it's not a lot of people are really into this band, but I am anymore. Mott the Hoople.
Oh yeah, you were mentioning that.
Yeah,
A couple of weeks ago, I guess. And that's their first one, and that one is way different than the stuff they were.
Yeah,
playing
it's more. This is more of a straightforward rock album. It's funny because the very first song in here is "You Really Got Me," which is, of course, the Kinks song, but it's like it's not the same. I don't know how else to explain it, but saying it's not the same.
No, I
It's
know
a
exactly.
whole
I know
different
exactly
animal.
what you mean because I listened to that record this week, and I just thought, boy, this is way different than All the Way to Memphis and those types of songs.
Yep.
They're not quite as gnarly and sleazy as Rob would like. They're more rock
Right.
and roll stuff.
The thing is, though, this is one of those albums that I had when I was a kid, and you only had like 20 some albums at that time, so you listen to it a bazillion times, so it's like ingrained in my memory forever. So you kind of have that nostalgic thing going on, even though it's different from the typical Ian Hunter and Mott the Hoople albums. But yeah, that's what I've been listening to. But I did pick up a few new things. Came in the mail finally. I don't know if I showed this or not, but the new Atrophy, which is Thrashtastic.
So it's good.
Oh, it's really good.
Okay, because sometimes when there's a layoff, I mean, it's like the Sacred Reich thing. It was good, but it wasn't Ignorance or Surf Nicaragua. You know what I mean? And I know that's hard to capture that lightning in the bottle, but anyway.
I mean, other than a more modern production, this thing could have been released as their third album, 2 decades ago. It really is well done. And then, of course, the new Evil Dead, which I think is mind-blowingly good. I mean, their last album I thought was great, but this thing, I just think they've entered a whole new realm on this one. It's just, I don't know. It's hammer to the brain riffing. It's just fantastic, and it sounds like
I'm gonna have to check that out. In fact, let me make a note. Someone had mentioned Metal Mayhem had mentioned that he purchased a vinyl record this week from the drummer of Evil Dead of their 2020 album, and it's signed by the entire band.
That's cool. Mine's signed too because I went to see them when they opened up for Dark Angel in LA, and I got them to sign it, so that was kind of fun. I don't necessarily always like buying. Every once in a while, I'll buy an autographed album, but I much prefer getting the autographs myself.
Sure.
And then I don't know if I showed this one or not, but this is an older Patriots in Black, and I pre-ordered a new Patriots in Black, and this is just another band that I've been like digging into quite a bit recently. But yeah, it's Dan Lorenzo and John Kelly, basically, who is, the main two guys in this band.
Patriarchs in Black.
Patriarchs in Black, yep.
Speaking of Dan Lorenzo.
Yep. He was going to be on the show on the 25th, I believe, of this month, which is in 2 weeks, I think?
2 weeks.
Yep, the 25th. So talking all things Hades and other bands. He's been in so many bands. Right now, he just put out a new single for Patriarchs in Black with DMC on vocals, which I'm really anxious to check out. He sent me the link. I just haven't had a chance to listen to it yet. Of course, DMC is from Run DMC. So he's been working a bit with him on some stuff, and he sent me a picture of him with DMC in the studio. So
that's an interesting. Someone had told me about the crossover between hip hop and metal before, and of course we've been through the whole Limp Bizkit nightmare. But I think that the true hip hop guys, like even Lil Wayne, if I can beg your attention for just a minute, like Lil Wayne learned to play heavy metal guitar because he was so into the music. So I don't know. So DMC is singing on a heavier.
Yeah, it's a heavy kind of sludgy doomy album. At least that's what Patriarchs in Black are. He actually sang a song on this one too, but the new album's coming out and the new single features him. But basically, this album is he's got a lot of well-known singers singing on it. And when I say well-known, I'm not talking like Bruce Dickinson and Rob Halford, but let's see because DMC is one of the guys that sang on here. Ray Traynor is on here singing. DMC, there he is. Kelly Abe is on here singing. Mark Sunshine on here singing. Bobby Jensen sings on here. So there's not necessarily names that the casual fan will know, but they're all been around for quite a while and have great singing voices. So
Right.
yeah, but I don't know how I missed this band. They're on their third or fourth album now, and I pre-ordered the new album. So, but it's very sludgy. I kind of describe it like Zach Wild's band with far better vocals.
Hmm. Well,
I,
I'm familiar with Johnny Kelly because he lives around here, and plus the Queen was in a group that toured around with Typo back in the day, so I'm familiar with him. But I would be interested to hear it, especially if DMC is singing. Good
Yeah,
grief!
I need to check that out.
didn't Johnny Kelly play drums? Didn't Johnny Kelly also play drums in Quiet Riot for a moment?
I think he did. Yeah, because
Did you meet? So you met him, didn't you, Rob?
yeah, Frankie Banali has well, did he pass away? I think
Yeah, duh. Yeah, it's dawning on me now what you're talking about. Yes, he was in Quiet Riot. Yeah, the Typo Negative guy. Yes, he was in Quiet Riot and very nice, and we served him barbecue. Yes.
TJ
Right on.
Lewis.
I forgot about that.
TJ Lewis says he still does play in Quiet Riot because Frankie Banali, I think, is passed on, hasn't he? He was battling.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's battling cancer or whatever. Which is tragic because, I mean, I saw some old clips of Quiet Riot the other day, and I thought, man, I just didn't remember them being that good, but they were
tight,
yeah,
they were
fun.
good. Hey,
I've seen Quiet Riot. I seen them on the Metal Health tour opening up for Black Sabbath, and they were good. And then I saw them many years later in the had to be the late '90s with Ted Nugent opening up for Ted Nugent, and again they were good. The only thing I thought was the vocalist, what's his name? Come on,
Kevin.
Original vocalist
Kevin Dubrow.
He was getting a little weird with asking girls to lift up their shirts, and I mean, not that I care about that all that much, but he was like, when it happens, it happens. But when you're actually up there, come on, man, it's like let's get back to the '80s. Lift up your shirts, and I'm like, that's kind of cringy. But
well, I saw him several times with Kevin Dubrow, and I thought they were okay. And then I saw him after the fact when he was no longer with us, and I thought they were better. I mean, I don't want to.
They were pretty tight the other night when I saw them, man.
I don't want to disparage a guy that's not here to defend himself, but I thought they were better.
Yeah, Jizzy Pearl was awesome singing for him. The drummer was great, man. It was good. Well, let's talk about something that's not cringy for a second. So I'm going to show.
Can I stop you there for just?
Yeah.
Okay, and I don't want to be cringy because I love you like my own brother, but the new Creeper is being mixed and mastered even as we speak, and that's with Kerry Crafton and Sterling Winfield. And speaking of Creeper and Tex Duncan, the lead singer, who's soon to be my brother-in-law, you guys pulled off the caper of all capers on Saturday, and I just want to thank you publicly because the Queen was having the bachelorette party and had all her friends coming in from out of town and so forth, and I thought my evening was done. And I had seen Rob earlier in the morning because I took a stack of records and tapes over to him to help keep the store afloat. And doggone it, if I didn't, so Larry and the boys from Colorado showed up, and we were supposed to go somewhere else. We ended up at an axe throwing place. Just the four of us, and I thought, oh, this is nice. And then all of a sudden, all these people come walking up in the parking lot. And Scott, by the time I saw Rob and Henry walking up, I halfway expected you to walk up too. But anyway, there won't be a next time, but I was going to say maybe next time. But anyway, thank you very much for that, because I'm telling you, I was stunned and amazed because we had Tex Duncan from Creeper. We had Larry Brock and Xander. We had Josh McGee, who's a great tattoo artist here in town. We had Rylan Tucker, who's Tex's stepson. And I don't want to leave anybody out, but and of course Alice Fink was there, and I mean, we just had a blast. And you guys, I don't know how you did it and how you did it with a straight face, because I was sitting across the dinner table from you that morning, and we were just shooting the breeze, and he's just like, yeah, life's pretty boring, all right, blah blah blah. And then I leave, and then he and Henry show up. So
Yep.
thank you very much. But I'm telling you, I'm stoked about this Creeper record. And
Yeah, it's gonna be good. I still haven't heard it. I want to hear it. I wanted a shot to master it. I don't think that's gonna happen. I think they've got somebody lined up, which is totally cool. But I'm ready to hear it. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be good.
I mean, were you were at one of the sessions where they did some of the scratch tracks
Yep.
at MediaTek,
Yeah.
which by the way is a really phenomenal place for a guy that doesn't want to necessarily go to college and doesn't know how to be a mechanic. Man, the sound and video thing that they do there is pretty impressive. And so any of our listeners that are out there that are thinking about a career change or whatever, I actually talked to Carrie at length. And I said, am I too old to maybe come down and turn a few knobs and kind of learn how to do this? And he said, absolutely not. So there is a very good to great chance that I may, upon retiring from my current situation, I may just go down there and learn how to do that stuff just so I can.
Yeah, it's a great place, man. I can't pimp MediaTek enough. They are maybe pimp is a term I shouldn't use.
No, you can say that. I think we're cool with
prop
that.
them up. They're great. But yeah.
But thanks
So,
to you guys.
I did not go to MediaTek, but I may end up there at some point. But I did work on some stuff recently with Scott. So if you like some traditional metal with some Jesus influence, then go grab you some Titanic, because man, these things are full on smoking, guitar driven, killer melodic heavy metal, man. Great traditional
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean, put it in the bin with like Judas Priest and Saint and Armored Saint and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think Ozzy vocals, because it's very much in that style. And I'm going to save one for last. Scott and I also worked on this Winter Solstice that just went on sale about last weekend.
Yeah, that thing is, and it's selling like crazy. I mean, it's one of the best out. It's one of the best sellers he has right now.
Yeah, it's on Sunflare Splatter vinyl, which is really cool. So check this out over at Boone's Overstock. This came out on license from Metal Blade. It's one of the limited run vinyl releases, and it's out on Bombworks, which is a label that I owned a billion years ago.
So what kind of music is it?
That is 100% metalcore.
Yep.
Really?
Fans of Unearthed, Shadows Fall, and All That Remains.
Okay.
Good stuff. Also,
yeah, there's some thrash leanings in there, some death metal leanings, but I mean, it would fit perfectly in the metalcore category.
So they could open for Unearthed.
Yes, no doubt.
Okay.
And this has been highly requested and is now out.
Yeah, I'm psyched about
Orange
this one.
Crush vinyl. And not to toot my own horn or Scott, but man, this thing came out great. Scott did a killer job. He selects the colors for the vinyl at manufacturing. The artwork is just beautiful. And Scott does everything. The hype sticker, everything. The ads you see, that's all Scott. And
it's called Orange Crush vinyl. I don't know how well it'll show up on this video, but it's got like bits of red in there and yellows. It's really pretty vinyl.
Yeah, it's cool. And I got to work on it, which was awesome and fun. But so many people have been asking for this record on vinyl for years and years. And it just came out this past week. So if you're a fan of King's X, Galactic Cowboys, that early Houston sound that those guys were doing, Monty Colvin's in the band, man, Sam Taylor produced it. So you know what you're going to get. And this thing is smoking good. And it sounds beautiful.
It's prog rock, man. It is 100% prog rock. It's not all that heavy, although the bass is just that growling bass sound. Kind of like, it reminds me of Chris Squire a bit, the bass sound. It's just got that growling bass sound. And, but yeah, it's a lot. It ebbs and flows. There's mellow moments. There's heavy moments. I love this album. I always have, but I don't know what happened. I don't know what Rob did to it, but he put his magic spell on it, and now that this thing just sounds brilliant.
He made it gnarly and sleazy.
And it came out on CD as well, so you can get it on either one. I don't usually say this, but I personally think the CD sounds better than the vinyl, by a hair.
Hmm.
If
Well,
you AB it back and forth, it's the fact of the matter is it just has a little more dynamic range than the vinyl does.
Yep, it does. And you can make it louder. There's just a lot. Yeah, there's a lot more room on a CD.
So
But
speaking of Scott and his wild talent for album covers, I saw that's Transcendent Awaken. So can you talk to me about that? Isn't that you?
That's me, Transcendent Awaken. They just released the cover art on social media today. Rob actually. Oh no, you did not master that one. You just created a DDP file for me.
Which
But
one?
you heard the Transcendent Awaken.
Yeah,
was
I
the
didn't
one
work on that one.
But you heard it. It's basically new wave of traditional heavy metal with slightly progressive tendencies. I found out the band is a big fan of Rush and Dream Theater, so you get a bit of that in there, but it's a little more straightforward than that. You're not going to be like, it's not like this, where it's obviously prog rock.
Yeah,
It's new wave of traditional heavy metal. Great vocals too. I was really impressed by the vocalists. So, yeah, good album that's coming.
yeah,
this
it's really
coming
good.
Friday.
Oh, sorry.
I was going to say this coming. No, next week the press release goes out for it, but the cover was released today.
Well, I was going to
very
say,
well mixed and mastered by Garrett. I
Garrett
sent him a
Thomas?
message, as a matter of fact, to say, "Hey, dude, this thing sounds great." So, not that he needed my approval, but I was working on the DDP, and so I messaged him, and man, it sounds good. He did a great job recording and mastering it.
Well, 15-year-old me would have bought it just for the album cover. So I just mad props to you, Scott, because it looks pretty awesome.
Can I show a couple more things real quick?
Yeah. Hey, Metal Mayhem. Yes, we did talk about the Evil Dead record, and then you got your copy signed by the whole band because I showed mine and said, mentioned that also that I had got mine signed by the band. So yeah, we mentioned it, but thanks.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I have something that I did not know existed in two forms. I didn't know that this physical thing existed, and I also didn't know that this version of the song existed. So I bought a collection from a dude on Sunday of about 300 CDs, most of it death and black metal, some really good stuff that'll be coming to Metal Rob's Records and also my eBay store where I put the higher end stuff sometimes. So this is a CD single of Wrathchild, and it is a studio version with Bruce singing. I haven't played it yet, but I just got this. I didn't know anything about it, and it's from the Ed Hunter soundtrack, the video game.
Yes.
Remember that PC game that came out years ago?
Yep. I have it. Still, I even have the mouse pad that came with it.
Oh, there was a mouse pad?
Yep.
So I didn't know. I've never seen this. I've never put it on an old computer or anything like that. But yeah, that single came from it, and I thought it was pretty sweet. So yeah, Ed Hunter and the single Wrathchild featuring Bruce Dickinson on vocals. So I told the guy, I said, yeah, that's not going anywhere. That's going into my Maiden collection. So, and one last thing, and then I'll let you boys round out the show. So the owner of Brutal Planet Records calls me up the other day, and he is giddy. I mean, he's just giddy. He's like, dude, I found this thing. He's from Burlington, Iowa. And he was in a record store in Burlington, and he found a record by a band from Burlington. They're called Rude Awakening. The album is called Bound for Glory. And he's just freaking out about how it's this awesome traditional heavy metal and all this kind of stuff. And he thought it was so cool that he was from there. That was his hometown record shop, and these dudes were from there. And he's like, man, I got to get a hold of these guys because it does not exist on CD or cassette. It was only released on vinyl, and one sold fairly recently on Pop Psych reported it. I don't know if that's a sales site or just a site that tells you what it's sold for. One recently sold in VG condition for $1,200.
Whoa.
Yeah, and the one right under it was $695. But anyway, this thing is in beautiful shape. And he was like, I can't believe I found it. I was like, dude, turn it over. It's autographed.
What?
Yeah. 4 of the 5 guys signed the thing, and one of them's phone number is on there. Now, I doubt the phone number still works, but anyway, he did a little research and found out that one of the guys owns a barbecue place in town, and another guy's like on the city council or something. And then there's the record. But he sent it to me to transfer, and that's all I have to say about that.
I assume it'll be transferring over to me as well pretty soon.
I hope so. We are going to see what we can do. But so there is a record transfer of this on YouTube, Rude Awakening, Bound for Glory, and you can hear all the cracks and pops, which I think is killer. But go listen to this, man. It is high-pitched vocals, 80s metal of the highest order. It's really, really good. So hopefully, once we get this thing cleaned up and transferred, and the vinyl is just in pristine shape, maybe you'll hear more about this in the coming months.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's good, man. It's cool.
After it's been easier.
Since you're pimping stuff that you're working on, maybe you should pimp the little James Rivera project we just finished up that's in production.
What?
Oh, yeah. Hang on. So I will do that when I can put my hands on it.
Have you heard of Sons of the Kingdom?
Nope.
No.
So Scott and I just finished remastering, and he did the artwork for a reissue of on CD and vinyl.
Yep.
I'm excited about that. And I don't know if I can say it or not.
Say it.
That is happening. We did do that one. It's coming soon on Brutal Planet. But I will let this cat out of the bag. I have heard and mastered a brand new Hellstar song, and it is delicious. It is so good. Larry has been recording for years now, and he has just gotten better and better and better. And he'll send me stuff to critique his mixes, which intimidates the shit out of me. But I will give him feedback and whatever. So he's learned a lot, and I've learned a lot. But this mix, dudes, I can't tell you how good his mix is of this new Hellstar song. So he's got a template built, and I've got the mastering template built, and this thing is going to be unstoppable. Can't wait. And I've had some bucket list items, like I said, FM radio broadcast, meeting Brian Tatler, and I think I'm going to get to do some work on the new Hellstar album, which will be a huge full circle thing for me.
Right on. Well, speaking of stuff that we worked on together,
the album is A Distant Thunder, by the way.
Yep. This is Slaughterhouse test pressing, Face Reality, but both Slaughterhouse are going on sale this Friday, vinyl and CD. This one's a clear vinyl with blood splatter, and this one is some other odd, cool looking vinyl color. So, and these are actually on my label. So, people, please buy them because I need the sales.
And
but,
in one word, how do they sound? Delicious.
These things Rob, again, this, like I said, with The Awful Truth, I'm not just pumping Rob because he's my friend. He really does great work when it comes to remastering. These things, I doubt they were ever even mastered. I have a feeling they were mixed and put out. That's the way it sounds to me. Because what Rob did with it, it's night and day. I mean, you can actually hear the bass guitar. What a thing, right? It's amazing. These sound phenomenal.
That's nice.
But the other thing I'll let anybody know who's into collecting test pressings is he's going to put up 3 copies or 4 copies of the test pressings with the original Metal Blade. What do you call that? This
promo
press
photo?
kits.
Yeah.
The photo and the whole kit. It's got the letter in there as well. So you'll be getting the test pressing, the original promo letter, and the original promo photo for Face Reality if you are one of the ones who purchased the test pressing. So I thought that was a pretty cool idea that the label's doing. And when I say it's my label, it's not. It's only my label in name, like No Life Till Metal Records. So I don't actually own the label.
Hey, so can you answer Metal Mayhem's question? So he asked this. Something happened on vinyl. The album Sons of the Kingdom on vinyl. Do you know what band that is?
Sons of the Kingdom. It's not coming to my head. Nope.
I don't know enough Christian metal bands to know that one.
Is it a Christian band?
Yeah, that's
Sons
what he's
of
saying.
the Kingdom.
Yeah, I don't know it.
Let us know who that is, so we can look into it.
Oh, well, speaking of delicious, TJ Lewis is dropping bombs over here. Forebode will record. What does it say? Forebode. He's written it in Abaresh or Mandarin Chinese or something. But Forebode will return to do a show. It looks like on a Saturday.
Forebode will return for one show on Saturday,
August
31st.
31st.
Oh man, are they playing the
Austin at the Lost Well? You have been warned. We have a conflict that day, TJ.
Yeah, we do.
Small conflict, just a tiny one.
Yeah.
But you know what? Why don't you do it at Platinum Music Complex?
Yeah, right.
I'm sure my parents of 87 years young will have already gone home by then.
Well, maybe they'll want to stick around and see Forebode.
Well, maybe.
We would have to fly out in a plane, and they would have to drop us in the parking lot for us to be able to get there.
Yeah. So yeah.
Well, Metal Mayhem. If you think of the name of the band, let us know. But one of us know. We'll figure it out. But I don't know I don't know Sons of the. That's out. It's not clicking with me. Sons of the Kingdom.
Yeah, I don't know it either.
Is that Sacrament or?
No, I looked it up on Discogs just now. It didn't come up. So, Immortal came up. The band Immortal. I'm pretty sure that's not what you're talking about.
No, that's Sons of Northern Darkness. That's completely the other end of the spectrum. I believe
that's the other kingdom, right?
Yeah. Well,
that's right.
I don't know. Usually when we think of the other kingdom, we think of South of Heaven, but this is Northern Darkness. So I got nothing.
South of Heaven doesn't mean hell; it means earth. Did you know
okay.
that?
Yes, I knew that.
Yeah.
Well,
here's
not to get too theological, philosophical, or whatever, but hell is here on earth. But anyway, I digress, Scott.
Hell is for children.
Hell awaits, man.
Hell's
Come on,
heroes.
we do this all afternoon, except we've only got like 3 minutes left.
I also picked this up, which I've never seen before. Of course, I need to have everything that has Aerosmith's logo on it, including Aerosmith toilet paper. But this is a Chinese compilation. I haven't even cracked the plastic on it yet. I'd like to, but I'm almost thinking I might not. It's got some odd choices for songs for a best of. Like, I know you guys know Aerosmith, but I don't know how big of fans you are to know. Do you ever heard the song Sedona Sunrise?
Nope.
Yeah. Devil's Got a New Disguise?
Nope.
Yeah, and those are both on here. And I know those songs. They were kind of obscure songs that they recorded for other compilations, but they're on here as on their best of China.
Interesting.
Could be a bootleg. It's on a big label though, so I don't know. Anyhow, I just thought it was kind of cool, and it wasn't real expensive, so I grabbed it.
I'm pretty sure that anything over there is not licensed. I have a Blood Incantation from Taiwan. Now, if it's from Taiwan, it's licensed. If it's from China, there's a good chance that it's probably not.
Same thing with Russia, right? I've seen the Russian stuff.
Yeah, and it's like, what are they going to do? Sue us? But speaking of, got to have everything with Aerosmith on it, Scott. I was curious, and maybe you can answer after the show, but I understand you got a bunch of 7-inches from the gnarly sleazy guy over there.
I did, and now there will be a video going up soon.
Okay, because some of those, I think, did they come from me?
Yeah, I sent him a nice gift box of stuff that
I was just curious what you cherry picked out of there, because there was some stuff in there now. I
Yeah,
didn't give away my insect warfare test pressings. Sorry. I know
No,
you really
no.
want those.
And I didn't take everything either. Like there was some really good stuff in there. And I'm like, no, you need to sell that, make some money. So yeah. Anyhow,
Like the
well,
pink Vinnie Vincent promo.
nope, I have that one.
Cool.
Oh, you have that one. Good.
Or the Metallica bootlegs.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hey, I don't mean to rush us off, but I need to rush off because I got to be somewhere in like 10 minutes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I need to
Well,
get out
we're
of
at
here
the
too.
hour, so
All right. Well, that was good. I hope you guys enjoyed our scatter shooting of random concerts recently and stuff we've picked up. And we talked about Scott's label and all kinds of stuff that we've worked on. And yeah, man, it was good. It's always good to see you boys. But most of all, for those of you who watch, thank you kindly from the bottom of our little black metal hearts. Am I right?
yes, of
Absolutely.
course.
Well, all right. You know how we do it for episode 229 of the Metal Roundtable. Metal
Will prevail.
I was ready with the button this time.
Jazz hands.
Sardonyx.
Jazz
Sardonyx.
hands.